Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness today. For a while now, the agitators, those agitating for Biafra, especially in Southeast, have never had any governor who calls them, to the point of dialoguing without conditions, particularly. Although at some point, the likes of Governor David Umahi had called, but then again, there were some loopholes that indigenous people of Biafra saw and they were not comfortable with. But already Soludo came up on coming into the seat. He came on a high note, insisting that they should come together and dialogue. It looks like the former deputy president of deputy leader of indigenous people of Biafra have this to tell the indigenous people of Biafra, and in fact he called them out that they accused him of $5 billion Naira thereabout. He's going to give full details of what happened and what was his gain or loss in the whole process. But before we go into the news, prepare like it, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update a channel on YouTube. Actually, 5 billion Naira was what he said. Let's go into the news proper. Well, Uche for Mefor, the former deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, has said that the group has no other option but to embrace dialogue after turning their instrument against their own people. It was reported that Mefor on Sunday slammed the indigenous people of Biafra for falsely accusing Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State of giving him, Uche Mefor, 5 billion Naira to destroy the group, saying the pro-Biafran group is now shamelessly going back to him. It was recalled that Soludo, the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, who was sworn in last week, recommended dialogue with the Presidency and the Southeast governors to deal with the conflict in the Southeast, especially in relation to Nnamdi Kanu, the indigenous people of Biafra, as IPOB, MNK, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN. Mefor agrees with Governor Soludo. Let me read his message in full. To you, the indigenous people of Biafra and Eastern Security Network, codenamed IPOB and ESN. Are you tired of your criminality, targeted assassination of Igbo Biafrans? This is the soft landing you need now, or lose it for good. For you must get tired after the spirit of land must have finished dealing with all of you who supported this abomination and crimes against humanity, against Igbo Biafrans, that's bringing down your own brothers in the name of freedom. Isn't it instructive? Isn't it instructive that the same man, Professor Soludo, whom you lied and accused of giving Uche Mefor 5 billion Naira to destroy the indigenous people of Biafra, is still the same man that you are now shamelessly going back to, and who will definitely lead a solution to stop you from your self-inflicted destruction? So, you are now ready to work with politicians. But of course, this is a fact that your leader, your savior, and your messiah, Nnamdi Kanu, has been doing secretly and behind the scenes, but unconscionably accusing innocent people of. What a hypocrisy. In the circumstances, you are drowning and obviously have no choice than to embrace dialogue or perish, so stop bragging, Ima Powerful. Finally, here's a test for you. If you know that all these useless, cowardly, delusional conditions you are thoughtlessly dishing out is not that of an empty vessel, and that you are not drowning, please continue with your criminality and don't embrace dialogue. Whether you like it or not, you must eventually come back to our position of imbibing human rights principles and democratic ethics, either by proxy or otherwise. Uche Mefor is shaking tables. But obviously, from all indication, from what he wrote, he's of the opinion that he was given some 5 billion, allegedly so. That he was accused, rather, of being given 5 billion B, not in millions, or billion, for that he's supposed to go into IPOB, scatter all their plans, make sure that it doesn't see the light of day. It was allegedly given to him by the same present governor of Anambra State, Soludo. He said now that truth is now beginning to emerge, that he is not the same now Soludo that is now calling for a truce, giving them the opportunity to come together so that they can dialogue and talk. But there's another challenge he's throwing at them, saying if they know that it's not empty vessels, they're not just making empty threats the way Ima Powerful has been making, that okay, these are the conditions for us to call a truce. You must release Nnamdi Kanu, one. You must also, all the Biafrans in the detentions, all the Igbo people in detention on the spaces or on the premises of agitating for Biafra should be released in all the various detentions that have been placed in various detention facilities they've been in various parts of the country. That Soludo should ensure that he facilitates their release and also Nnamdi Kanu's release. Otherwise, and all that. But Uche Mefor is saying that just to prove to them that it's an empty vessel noise, that if they don't embrace this, it's just a matter of time. They would have to fall in line. But forget about whatever challenge or not. I would say dialogue is always the best. Forget how Uche Mefor is trying to make it sound as if you do it is a sign of weakness. No. Honestly, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. And this solution is not coming from a different tribes, coming from your own brother, at least to a good extent. I wouldn't think that anybody would want to, he's just coming in newly. I don't think he wants to put all his brothers in trouble. And he has been very close to the president. Remember, he was among the executive committee on economics and the economy of the country. So to a great extent, I'm sure he usually have one or two interaction with the president, and he may even have one-on-one audience with the president, having worked in his administration at some point. So I feel that if he says that he can dialogue, just to table your matter, everyone come out. It's not the time to, the blame game now. It's the time to heal, time to interact, share your pains and heal, so that the region also can move forward. The truth is, nothing thrives in a place of chaos. It's just common sense, and him being an economist par excellence, he knows that for a fact. That's why we're going to wrap it up. What to take on the standpoint of Uche Mefor saying that he has been accused of collecting 5 billion naira from this allegedly so from Professor Soludo, who now is the governor of Anambra State, and is insisting that all brothers should come together and let them dialogue over the issue of secession and see how they can get the state and also the region forward. That's what's going to wrap it up. What's your take?